Good morning, everybody. Please leave comments in the comments section. Hit like and subscribe. This is Tom and the Servant for another Raw Talk. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Steve.
Even this place, like, I found this great video, this awesome video. I love it. I just sent it to you. It was all the words of Jesus, all the commandments, but the channel itself has like this kind of like fiery phoenix rising, on it, which is kind of iffy, right? And then I was looking at some of the other stuff, and it's kind of on the preface of like, um, in Matthew where he says that not everyone who says Lord, Lord will be going to the kingdom, and like he prefaced it on a sense that like if you don't do these works, you won't go to heaven, which is that's evil too, to even say that, to suggest that,
Right.
and so even when you find good stuff, it comes with a price, of like, if I didn't know that, I would be sitting there going, oh my God, wait, I mean, yeah, I wanted to do all that stuff, right? But they make it look like you have to do it or else you're going to be left out somehow,
Right, right.
And, and that's when I sent you that message last night. I was like, I'm just going to focus all of my studies on Christ crucified. That should be the center of my studies. That's everything. That what he did on the cross was everything. And then surround it from there, build my studies on that, the rock. And then everything else is icing on the cake, is like I don't know. Cuz every time I try to learn more or think that I want to become more wise or know more than the next person or whatever, that's when I get in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what it's about, It's about sharing the gift of grace,
It's a relief not doing them holidays. I don't do any of them. I mean, I still, on birthdays I do, but other than that, not at all.
Yeah, it's a hassle, man. It's all set up commercially, It never felt right to me because it's all commercial,
Right.
It's about selling stuff, I mean, who
It's
would
all about
think
the
of,
Benjis.
yeah, I mean,
And making you actually serve Satan without knowing it.
that's right. That's what the whole world wants you to do all the time. Because remember, like it said, like I forget where it says it, but like music is for worship. That's what music is designed for. It's for worship. And so like any music that's not music for God is like you're worshiping the devil, I mean, I don't know if it's like that, quite like that. Maybe I'm not saying it right, but a lot of music is like basically worship music to the devil now,
Oh man, almost all of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I know it sounds harsh to say that to somebody, but
Too bad.
you
I
know,
mean, the truth hurts. I mean, and there's no getting around it. That music industry is evil.
it is to the core. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any other purpose for it other than to separate you from God. I mean, I like, yeah, it's entertaining and it's nice to hear someone with a nice voice, and there are songs I like, but like, you know, not enough to where I want to listen to it every day and let it affect my spirit,
Yeah, I don't listen to any secular music at all, and I haven't for years, really.
Yeah,
None
I'm
of
with you. It
it. Just no good. I mean, all it does is take you away from God.
does.
I mean, and real quick, like, too, you know.
It does very fast. I mean, my brother, like he's a former pastor, right? And you always have it in your blood if you've done it, And he sells real estate now, but he sent me this meme of everybody singing Imagine or whatever during the COVID
Mm-hmm.
thing. And he's like, "Hey, look, this one guy's voice is real nice." I said, "Man, this song is evil on its best day, man.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine there's no heaven."
It isn't
It's the
hard to
first,
do.
yeah, that's the first line of the whole thing. I mean, what are you doing, man? Sending me
Mm-hmm.
this stuff, man. No hell below us. What? No consequences now. It's all good now, right? That's
Imagination, right?
just unreal. And you hear people singing it like it's some kind of anthem, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it is for the devil's world, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, he likes that song.
I bet he does. I bet he does. I bet that's a song that they'll play when they finally unite this, world on this one world government.
Hey, that's a
Because,
real good possibility.
yeah, it's happening. It's gonna happen, you know? I mean, they already are together, but as far as being overtly together, so everyone knows, you know, that'll be uh, that'll be soon, I think.
Oh, I
You
take it I
know,
wasn't muted, eh?
it's all right, man. Who cares? Yeah,
I thought I muted myself there for a minute. I was taking a
yeah,
swig of water, bro.
who cares about that? Everyone knows that sometimes people are thirsty. That's where what God said the spirit is in the water, right? It's in the
That's right.
water and the blood. Yep. It's just
But
because like Adam was created from the dust, right? From the dust, and God breathed life into him. And then I think when we get our new bodies, I think that like that's because there's earth and there's water, right? I think that we're gonna
right.
be have our bodies made of a better chemistry, you know?
So it'll
Like
be spiritual body.
yeah. You think it'll be like water and he'll breathe life into it, or it'll just be
Well, we already have the
something
spirit in
different?
it, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what form it's gonna take.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's the kind of stuff I really want to know about, you know? Is like more stuff about that, you know. And then
Yeah, and there
obviously
just isn't a lot on that,
there
We're
isn't.
gonna be spiritual, spirit body.
Yeah. That's all like really honestly, if I felt good, I would do anything. So I guess that's all that really matters, right? If my body's made of something that can't feel pain, then I'm good with that, you know?
Well, think about it. There'll be no limitation, no physical. I mean, you can walk through walls,
Oh man,
just appear and disappear, be whatever you want to be, just that quick.
that would be cool, man.
I know, right?
Well, I was hearing this one pastor, right? Uh, he was talking about when the second coming, right? This is funny, man. This is what you get when you learn that stupid spinning ball, right? Is he goes, yeah, so in the second coming, he goes, I'm just reading you scripture. This is scripture, so don't get on me. I have to read it the way it says, right? And he's trying to interpret it honestly, right? And
Right,
he said we're gonna be in heaven because we're raptured, so we're gonna come back. This is us coming back for the wrath, right? Be with Jesus, right? This is what he's saying. And he said we go through the water and then we crash through like a glass type surface and then we go through outer space and fly past all the planets and then we are on Earth. He goes, don't look at me crazy. That's what it's supposed to be. Water and then some kind of glass structure, you know? And I'm like, it's the firmament and the water's above the heavens and there is
right.
no outer space, you goof, you know? And he's thinking he's gonna fly past the planets and all that stuff.
Wow. And that's what's teaching our kids. You know what I'm saying? Think about
Right.
it.
I know, man. But then, like, that's not the worst part of it. Is the people in the audience weren't looking at him crazy for the outer space part. They were looking at him crazy about the water and the glass structure part.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? They're like, "What? There's glass and water up in the outer
Well, there's no
space?"
glass, but there is that water up there.
You're
There is a
darn right.
firmament up there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's a molten looking glass. Is how
Right.
it's. Is how
And
it's.
if you ever see,
Not clear.
you look at that bald eagle video, but at the very beginning, just look at that water and look at the reflection in there. That looks like a molten glass, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you should see that reflection in there. It was just calm. It was
Oh,
cool,
dude.
man.
It was cool. I like seeing animals in like the wild living the way they're supposed to live, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you wonder how far are we removed from really being what we are, you know? With all this
6,000 years.
You know, it's all. I mean, but if you think about it, like everyone getting in their cars and going to work and putting on suits and stuff, like we're really more. We should be more like the animals in a way, you know, like a little less sophisticated, you know, and like live on farms and like we wear clothes and everything, but like we're just supposed to eat and work and enjoy each other, you know, and like be closer to what animals do. They stay in packs and they eat and they go to their little homes and stuff. But
Yeah,
all this innovation in technology has brought it like and along the way it's like we think that all these technological things are helping us because if you get them incrementally, it's like, oh yeah, that's handy, I could use that for this, you know, and oh, that's handy, I could use that for this, but before you know it, you're dependent on all this stuff and you need it, you know. And then now they have virtual reality where you're not even going to want to leave the house anymore, you know, like
right.
not only do you need the internet just to get by, right? But now you need this virtual reality to be like, oh, I'm at this person's vacation now, or instead of being on Facebook and looking at pictures, you could put on these VR goggles and see 360 pictures, you know? That,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, we can't be too far from the end if this is how we're living, man.
No, and just about every state, I think, didn't they just adopt i- this mask policy just about? And I think in Wisconsin, if you enter into any business, you're supposed to wear a mask or something. I think that took effect like the first.
California's the worst. The worst, you know?
So, but I don't know. I mean, I ain't wearing one.
I mean, I'm at the point where okay, I don't want to wear it, right? But like when I go to the hospital, I mean, there's just no getting out of it. Like when you enter that a medical facility, you gotta have it, right? So I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm at the point now where like I know the people enough to where I can just kind of wear it the way I want to wear it under my chin or whatever, or to where I could be comfortable, you know, like I'm just at that point, you know, and
yeah,
I just go to Walmart when I need stuff, man. Other than that, I don't even go nowhere just because I don't want to wear it. But like it's at the point where you almost can't fight it, you know, or you can, but it's gonna cause a ruckus, man, for sure, you know.
yeah. Are they enforcing stuff though, like in your regular, not away from the VA, just in regular businesses? I mean, are people getting arrested or fined or anything like that, or what's going on there?
Um, they okay, so the only thing that I saw that was like out of the ordinary, kind of odd, is that like now you'll get cops called to like parties and events or something, to check for social distancing and like congregations, churches, like that kind of stuff, which is weird, that cops would be called for that, But like other than that, I don't see anything really different that much. There's nothing out in the streets. Ever since all the rioting and stuff stopped, then it hasn't been really anything out of the
You
ordinary.
you know that Daniel Pratt, I was watching some of his videos this morning,
Yeah.
and he made a good point saying, you know, for over the past year or so, there was a lot of flat Earth conferences and meetups. I mean, the meetups are almost daily somewhere around
Yeah.
the country, and then all of a sudden, this, yeah, this COVID came and no gatherings, no meetings, no getting together. Got to hide your face. I mean, it's unreal. I mean I've been thinking that too. Why would they, bring out the mask for flat Earth? But now it makes sense when he was putting in perspective. You can't meet up, you can't gather, you can't have the conferences anymore.
Yeah.
Especially once that Nathan Thompson checked that one doctor that
Yeah.
what's it? Well, you're not a medical doctor, but PhD in whatever, Danny Faulkner.
Oh yeah, yeah. Check. Yeah.
Man, he put him in his place.
He did.
Yeah,
I mean, he had just asked him something simple too, because Danny Faulkner was talking about, oh, I got all the answers for anybody. It's just people don't have the answers to fight these flat Earth people, but I know all the answers, you know. And all
Right.
drag him into the conference room and said, "How do you have gas pressure without a container?"
And he just sat there and looked dumb. And here's the sad thing: is that guy is the one who's he's a part of that Answers in Genesis. So even that Answers in Genesis got some piece of garbage like that running their program, which is sad because that Answers in Genesis was pretty good. I like that one guy. I can't remember. Oh, Ken Ham.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, they're it's just like them and Kent Hovind and all these people you thought that were, you know, would understand this kind of thing, because they're going against a lot of science stuff that looks like scientific evidence, and when they're going against evolution. In fact, I think there's more evidence for evolution than there is for the ball, to tell you the truth. But you
Well,
know,
there's no evidence for either.
well, there's no evidence for either, because neither of them are true. But I'm saying I would say that evolution's harder to fight than ball Earth, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
you
But I
know,
mean,
because
here's the thing: these guys make millions of dollars off this stuff. They've
yeah,
been
but why
teaching
would
that
they?
for years. I mean, for decades. I mean, Ken Hovind's been making his living off that since the 90s.
Yeah, in his dinosaur adventure land.
Yeah,
You
which
know.
don't exist.
Yeah, right,
You
right. No
know,
dinosaurs. Right. You're right.
I mean, I'm sure there was. I mean, the creatures were big, and there were some big
Sure.
beasts back in the day. But Leviathan, Behemoth, and there was
Right.
probably a few other things. But there wasn't like these T-Rexes and that roaming
No.
around.
No.
These big monsters with little teeny tiny giblet
You know the
hands. You
whole.
know what I'm saying?
You know
No arms.
the whole purpose of that, I think, the dinosaurs is that they tried to introduce a dominant species that was before
Man,
people,
yeah,
and then have death before sin, and then you have you're not the center creation, you're not even the first creation, like you're not even the first species, so it's like they every which way to make us special. We're not in the center of the galaxy. We're not in, we're just a speck. There's infinite size around us, and like everything to make us special. There's no up, there's no down, there's no heaven, there's no God up there. We've been up there. There's no God. Every way to make us special, they tried to erase it. And then they tried to say, Columbus discovered America, and you know, he's the one that figured out that the world was round, and it's primitive to think that it's not, and all these made up stories. When you have like all these structures on this land that there is in any other land, like pyramids and megalithic structures and stuff, and it's like obviously America has been inhabited before the 1500s.
well, dude,
You
Columbus
know
discovered America. Who did he eat Thanksgiving with? Who was he?
That's right. There was
I mean,
already people here.
the people
You
that
know.
must have been here already, right? I mean, the Native
Yes. Yes.
Americans.
That's right.
I
That's
mean,
right.
that's how ridiculous it is. That just shows you how dumb people are. Columbus
Yeah.
discovered America and he had dinner Thanksgiving with the Indians. That's where that comes from. Well,
Yeah.
did he bring
How
the
do you
Indians with him or what?
yeah, how do you discover something if there's already people here chilling?
Oh, you
You
know?
know. And depending on how much of history you believe, right? I want to believe some of it,
None
but
of it.
like let's say that like all the tribal stuff and all that stuff is real. It's like the Native Americans had, a land without. They didn't have prisons. They didn't have Social Security. They didn't have none of that stuff. You know what I mean? And they survived. Like, and then we come and not we, they came and ransacked everything, and it's all the way it is now. To me, it's not better. It's way worse if you
No,
believe that story.
yeah, and what people don't realize when we came and had that lovely Thanksgiving dinner with the Native Americans, the
They
gifts we
killed.
gave them were blankets that were infected with smallpox. That's what kind of people they were.
Yeah.
That's how lovely thing. That's what you do when you celebrate Thanksgiving. You're
I'm trying to
celebrating killing off a race of
exactly.
people. You know
I'm trying to separate myself from the people back then because
why I
yeah,
agree. They
you can
weren't us.
because I think they're not us, and I think that like that perpetuates the racism stuff, you know,
Absolutely.
because
That's why I hate even saying race because we're all human.
well
I mean, people got different color skin, but other than that, you're all human.
you
We
could
all
say
came from the same Adam and Eve. Period. I
oh,
don't care
that's
what anyone
correct.
says. There's no different race.
Period. We came from Adam and Eve, but this is what I'd like to have separated is like you know how they say well the white people did this you know like no those people did that you know what I mean it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what color their skin are those it's not like I can have like say a green guy robs my house and now I got to go to the green people and say yeah your people robbed me you know
Right.
well they might not even know that guy that other green guy you know and
Right.
so like I want to separate myself from I just want to say look those people did that in history and I you know I'm against it and
Right.
I don't even know those people man and I wouldn't probably hang out with them
Well,
either
it's like
you know
this. You know how they have
'cause-
them? They get these idiots to send their DNA in to see where they come from. This genealogy garbage. Think about this. What separates the United States from Mexico is an imaginary line in a couple of cops, right? I mean, that's it. There's nothing separating that.
that's
How
right
can your blood tell you what side of that dirt road you came from? I mean, unless you're checking stool
good
samples to
point
see if you're eating a lot of salsa, you know what I
that's a
mean?
that's a good point you
And
know
think about it. What
how does
separates us from Canada? An imaginary line.
yeah yeah
I mean, it's not
how
like it's a whole
Canada
different world.
hmm
I mean, they're just someone put a line there and called it gave it a name.
yeah it's
There's no difference.
it's insanity the way they try to divide us you know
It's
race and
insanity how we let them divide us.
it's like man, woman, black, white, gay, not gay, masked people, non-masked people, Republicans, Democrats. You know, it's like, well, come on, man, with all this separation, man. Like,
Yeah,
like, like instead of it being like, cause like one side wants to blame the other side for all the problems. You know, well, why isn't anybody blaming the top? That's where all the problems are. You know, those people are suppressing us and making us fight. You know.
yeah, it's the 1%.
And they're putting all this crap on TV, portraying people on TV, and that's not how people are in real life, you
Let
know?
me ask you this: Is Fox News a business?
It is.
How come their hosts and stuff on there aren't wearing masks?
Exactly. You're
I mean, are
right.
they when you walk into a CNN or Fox building, you're immune or something? And
That's
then you
right.
see them stupid retards that are saying the taller you are, the more likely you are to get coronavirus
That's so stupid,
because
man.
you're tall. I mean, if everyone's shorter, he should be the safest. He's got the cleaner air up there, right?
It's unbelievable what
I
they're
mean,
saying.
that's the insanity of how dumbed down people are. That's what this um, fluoride and vaccines and putting metal in your mouth. That's what it's done. I mean, people just literally can't be that dumb to actually believe because someone's taller, they have a better chance of getting corona. How does that even make sense? How do you even conceive of that?
I can't believe they're convinced that there is a corona.
Well, well, I do. I mean, we've been
You-
training and getting vaccines since birth. So, I mean, I get that. But to say
yeah.
because someone's taller?
But I mean, it would be different if I seen one sick person, you know?
Well, and I get that.
I haven't
I
even
mean, I
seen a
understand that, but
celebrity.
these people are stupid.
But I haven't even seen a celebrity on Instagram like during one of the days that they're sick saying, "Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's horrible." Like you would think that something like that would exist if somebody was sick. That they would at least check in with the fans and say, "Oh, it's bad, guys. It's bad," you know? Or
Right.
something, right? Or "Oh, I'm hanging in there, guys. Don't worry about me," you know, or
Well, 'cause, I mean, here's
Britney's
the
going to
thing you
be
got to
fine.
fight. I mean, here's the thing you got to fight. when you tell people there's no such thing as a virus, well, how did I get chickenpox? How did I get measles? I mean, and you have no answer for that. Neither do I. I
Yeah.
don't know how. I don't know what,
There's
how
got
about
to
polio?
be like I think that there's
Well, we
like
can't tell someone we think something. We have to have
oh,
that answer.
well this is what I'm pretty sure of. I think
You
there's
can't be even be
bacteria.
pretty sure.
I think there's bacteria that causes infections, right?
Well, but here's the thing. That's not what Dr. Kaufman says.
Right. That's true.
So that's what I'm saying. If
But
you
I
can't
don't think
answer
I
that,
don't
even though we
no no
know
no
it
no
to be
no
true,
no
we have to be able to answer that
no
question.
Dr. Kaufman was saying that viruses don't cause disease.
Right.
But there's still bacteria.
You
Like
better look at, but okay, you're not getting measles from bacteria.
yeah, well if we're not getting it from that, then I don't know.
Well, exactly. I
That's
mean, most of it comes from the vaccines are giving you, the poisons they put in our food, the poisons they
the,
put in the air. I know
the
it was that DDT and one other chemical that they were using, I think, in the food for spraying crops is what caused polio. That's the only I can remember. He breaks down where some of this other stuff comes from. I just don't remember. But that's what I'm saying. When you have a
yeah,
normal conversation with someone about there's no such thing as a virus, if you don't have an answer, you just look stupid and they don't believe nothing you say. So
yeah,
I'm careful on that, and I just send them to his videos. If you want to know, go watch this. For
yeah.
one, they're not going to believe me anyways if I tell them.
I mean, it was hard for me to believe when I first heard it, but I mean, the way he broke it down, I mean, you can't deny it.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, I wasn't
you'd have
hard
to
for
be,
me, but it really it piqued my attention to where I knew I had to look into it.
yeah. I mean, because you'd be willingly ignorant to not look at it. If someone brought that to your attention, you're just willfully not wanting to see it.
Right.
Because like there like he even breaks down like the criteria that it would take to even isolate a virus and have it survive
And that's
outside
the thing;
of
they've never been able to isolate it, and it's nothing to do with survival because a virus is already dead. A virus
right.
isn't even living. So
It can't live unless it's unless it's in your body. Once it's separated from you, it's dead, right?
no,
I thought that's what it was. It doesn't have its own life force. It's not its own
it's
creature.
not alive. It's not
Yeah.
life. It doesn't have life. It's dead. So when it gets in you, how it infects you, I don't know. I mean, they've never found a virus in a human ever. They found it in algae.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I gotta go back to
yeah.
some of that stuff, some of those videos.
I mean, look at his early videos when he talks about that stuff. I mean,
Yeah, you've got
phenomenal.
that. I'm gonna look at more of the stuff. I just saw the one that was on my thing, and I barely remember it. I've
And that's
memorized.
one of the better ones. He's got several of them out there. Some of them are on, well, I think Richie from Boston, I think his channel was taken down where he had some of those videos. But other people have had him on, and he explains a lot of that stuff really good. He
If we put
explains
a
he explains how where herpes
if
comes from,
if we
AIDS,
put it
all that
if
stuff.
if we put up well I'm gonna ask around how we can put up something and see if we can get around it, because I don't want them to come at me and delete what we got going on right now. But I want to put up some of that, or maybe I can watch some of that information and then like relay it when we do our talks or whatever, you know. And just I got to get well versed on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm careful with what I actually tell people,
yeah.
because I'll mention stuff, but then I'll take them to the source to go watch it for themselves instead of trying to tell them how it is. Because then when you're wrong, and I mean 100% wrong, they ain't gonna believe nothing you say about anything. Because
Well,
it takes that quick to turn somebody off. I mean,
when I was
if you ain't open, if you still think we land on the moon, there's no way you're gonna let it talk anyone into thinking that viruses aren't real.
yeah, there's no way.
You know.
In fact, if I'm talking to someone that still believes in the moon landing and outer space, I don't even know where to start with them.
Well, here's the
Sometimes I
thing.
just.
If they believe in the moon landing, ask them like when they shot off the moon to come back to Earth, if that was a capsule that brought them back to Earth, and they'll all say yeah, but that's not true. That's not how that worked. They
Yeah,
had
they
when
shot
they were
up
on
to the
when they were
rocket.
on the moon, they had another capsule up there with a dude in it orbiting for those couple of
Yeah,
days. Then he had
right.
the rendezvous with that, hook up, move into the good cap, the one with the fuel or whatever, shoot off the
Right.
rocket that they come in, and then plot a course back to Earth. I mean, really? That's the story. That's the story. That's how it went down.
Yeah, and then when you want to go to the telemetry data to find out how that's supposed to work, they had lost it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to bring up that. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
none
I
of
mean, because
that.
that's the thing.
None of
People believe in the moon landing, but they don't even understand what had to happen for what they
how
did to get there and get back.
how would you even? Okay, number one, how would you plot a course to a moving object, right? Well, first of all, right, which is semi-hard, right? I would think impossible,
Impossible.
but you could say semi-hard. I say impossible, right? But then you got to say, okay, well, between the Earth and the Moon, right, when they're flying, the Earth is flying at 500,000 miles an hour around the galaxy somehow with the sun, right? So how is that rocket, right, like in between the Earth and the Moon, right, still flying towards the Moon?
Gravity.
Yeah, that's stupid, man.
I know.
That
You know
is
what I'm saying?
stupid
I
on
know.
its best day, man.
Gravity.
I can't even. Gravity,
Why do you
baby.
think Einstein had to come up with relativity?
That's it, man.
He
Oh,
found out. I mean, he had to.
I sent Arwen this thing, man, that they came out with, man. That they're talking about they're gonna come out with a new physics. New discoveries have been made. They're coming out with a new physics. They're gonna have another Einstein come up with some more bull crap to save this ball, man.
Right?
That's what they want to do, man. Instead of
Goodness.
just admit it, man. Just admit it, you
So then
know?
the thing is, and they'll do it, and no one will then question, well, what about the old physics? No one will say that, well, that was all a lie. He just got this new, bigger, better, improved. I mean, so everything you've been taught had to have been a lie then. If they
I
have to
just
have new physics, right?
I
That
just
means
can't
old
believe
physics is no good.
I just can't believe I never questioned, even before I believed in any of this stuff, whatever, that when a plane takes off, like, what about the earth moving underneath it? Why didn't I ever think about that? You know what I
Well,
mean?
there's things that probably cross your mind for a split second, but then you just don't think about it. I mean, my biggest thing too, people who say, okay, the plane's traveling already at 1,000 miles an hour because of the Earth, and the atmosphere is moving with it. But what happens when you go in the opposite direction and taxi down?
Right.
Okay, taxi down the opposite way, and then you got to turn that plane around.
Yeah,
Why does that
U-turn.
1,000 mile per hour spin?
Right.
You know
The
what I'm
U-turn.
saying? Think
Or
about
what,
that.
or what about when you're going north to south?
I told the guy the other day, why don't we just sit there and hover then? If the atmosphere is moving with us, why don't we just hover and wait for the Earth to come? Or why, when that helicopter does a 360 in the air, just spins around real slow,
That's right.
why doesn't
Right.
it get tossed to and fro? Where's all this wind at?
Just how many times have we been at an air show where a plane will take off and then like turn around and then turn back around and then turn back around? Like what so what is he doing? Losing momentum, gaining it back,
You
losing
know
the
when them
momentum.
planes, when they do that and they fly across over the ocean and they're like just a couple feet off the surface, flying at ungodly speed?
Yeah,
How do
500
you
miles
do
an
that
hour. Yeah,
and counter the curvature of the Earth?
can't
You
do
can
it.
never. There's nothing that could compute that quick enough to keep you from
No
Earth
way.
smashing into the Earth.
Oh no, not a jet. No way. No
Yeah,
way.
that's what I'm talking about. When them jets do that,
There's
like the Blue
no
Angels or
way.
whatever. I mean, they're going,
Yes.
Mach 2 or whatever, feet off the ground.
And for anyone to believe that a boat is going over the horizon now, I mean, well, like the boat is on some kind of escalator going down from the bottom up instead of like going over a hill where you'd see the butt end last,
Right.
you know? Like if it's really, and number one, it wouldn't be going over a hump, it would be going down and away from you,
Down and away. Yep.
not
Yep.
over a hump, not there's a hump of water behind the boat, you know?
Yep.
That's so ridiculous, man. It's down and away from you all the time, down and away from
Yep.
you. But
You never
anyway,
see it angle. You never see that boat tilt. You never see it on any pictures of it on the side of the Earth going straight down.
Yeah, not
'Cause
left to right
that's what it'd
either.
be doing if it was at the equator, right?
That's right. That's right.
Straight along the side, on its side.
Or even like you know how like on Google Earth how you can scroll down all the way until you can see your house pretty much, you know?
Yeah,
Like why can't they get a camera on the ISS, right? And then point it at someplace and just focus it all the way in until you see the like an airplane flying sideways, you know, you're like, wow, that's the side of the earth. Like to them down is the other way, right?
right.
But they would be going sideways and a boat would be going sideways, you know, a boat would be going on the water sideways,
I mean, just
right?
think of the things they'd show people if that was real.
I would be glued to the TV watching that
Dude,
kind of stuff.
yeah,
They could all
they'd have
kinds of shit.
channels just 24/7 of stuff like that.
Yes, making money, man, with all the advertising they could have, man. People love space and
The
Earth and stuff
toys,
like that. Yeah,
t-shirts,
the
I mean, the
toys, yeah.
merchandise alone would be billions
Like
because it'd
show
be so cool. No one would ever get sick of that. But
show
now
like
every
a
10
travel
years you get a
picture.
fake mission to some planet and you get some dusty pictures back of some rover out in
Right.
Arizona getting stuck hung up on a
Well,
cactus.
well, if you're on the moon, why would you take pictures of the moon when obviously you can be taking pictures of the Earth, something we never see, or you could take pictures of the moon closer, you know? But who wants to see pictures of the moon? I want to see pictures of the Earth, man, from the moon.
Right.
Why would you
Not
snap
one.
one picture of the Earth
Not one.
and a thousand pictures of the damn moon?
I, I know.
There's no water. There's no nothing up there. There's no trees. Why would you take a picture of it?
And that's where they're gonna go live. You know what I'm
No, they
saying? You
want to
can't
live on
even breathe
Mars.
up there. Can't
Yeah,
breathe.
they want to live on Mars now. They want to
Well,
skip
sure,
the
because it's
moon.
so far away.
Yeah, go all the way to Mars. 25 million trillion miles away.
Yeah, and in 10 years the cameras will be so good they'll have to go to Pluto next.
And that bright red light is just water, is just air, I mean, light reflected off of dirt, you know, red dirt.
People eat that up, man.
They believe that the sun is shining light on Mars and it's bright up in the sky. Why did I ever believe that? I mean, I'm guilty too. I believed this
Right?
stuff,
I
man.
know.
I
I
thought
know.
this stuff was brilliant, man. I was like, oh, Einstein is so smart, man, with this space time, man. That's how time travel is going to be possible, man. Because I watched Back to the Future, man. I know all the little, all
And
the
I never
little.
got into that. I never got in. I didn't never believed in time travel or going into the future or going backwards. I never, I just it just that stuff just never made sense to me. It's like that,
Yeah,
I
it's
just knew better, but you still fell for all the space garbage and the dinosaur garbage and you
yeah.
know.
Shoot, all the little stuffed dinosaurs I used to have.
You know what's amazing is
Yeah,
people in other countries know a lot more about things than we do. The truth, like the Titanic and other events, Chernobyl,
yeah.
World War II. I mean, it's unreal how much truth those
Space
people know
stuff.
compared to us. The moon,
Yeah, because it's not their thing, right? We got brainwashed into thinking that we're a team, and then that was our people.
right?
Like if I lived in Australia, I wouldn't care about no American moon trip. You know what I mean? Like that would have no value to me, right? But it only had value because it was like a patriotic thing. We were trying beating another country. But like if you think about it, what country just gives up after they made it, oh let's give up.
Yeah, yeah.
We
I
can
know,
never
right?
get there, you know? You know?
Yeah.
And then how Don, what's his name, Pettit, he goes,
Oh, Don
yeah, we,
Pettit,
we
yeah.
destroyed all that technology. Well, what about the Russian stuff? Did they destroy their stuff? They had some stuff to fly up there, didn't they?
Well, that's what made us want to get up there because they were so far ahead of us, right? They were already
Yeah,
trying, supposedly.
yeah. They were sending monkeys and dogs and stuff up there. I wonder if God, was irritated with them sending monkeys up there,
I
you
mean,
know?
even if they, and who knows if they even did.
Well, because God's up there, and they wanted us to believe that there's no God up there, you know? He's
Right?
up
Oh, yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Like when I look at the sky now, I feel so awesome, man, because I know that God is up there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Physically up there, not
Yep.
just in another dimension somewhere. He's looking down on us, you know?
Yep. Watching over us.
He's
The
everywhere,
earth is
controlling
his
everything.
footstool.
And if you look at how the tides are, right? Like, you know, they say the moon, you know, causes the tides, right? But like, if you look at how the tides are, it's almost like, like the way they go, it's almost like it's being stirred or something, you know?
Well, I brought that
Like,
up to a guy last week. I'm like,
yeah.
if the moon causes a tide on the oceans, how come it doesn't like on the Great Lakes or the streams or rivers or ponds? He goes,
So,
it does. I said, well, show me. He goes, well, it's too small to tell. I said, well, how do you know it's doing it then? I mean, that's just how we got to get out of it.
how would you know if it's too small to tell? How would you be able to
That's what I
measure?
said. He just started laughing because he knew I had him.
Yeah, because that's what we do, man. And you're a good friend for you know putting it to him like that, you know, because
Dear Heavenly Father, I turn to you today. I repent of all my sins. I believe that your Son, Jesus Christ, died on the cross for my sins and was resurrected to life on the third day. And forevermore he lives. Father, I ask of you to baptize me with the Holy Spirit right now. Change my heart and renew my spirit. I invite you, Jesus, to enter into my heart. Change me, save me, and be the Lord of my life. Right now, in your mighty name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.